Welcome to P76 Tech Talks. I'm Erica and so happy to be here today with Nick and Tasha. How are you both doing today?
Right.
Doing fantastic.
That's awesome. So today we're going to talk about project management certifications. So we've had conversations with others regarding project management in general, and we've alluded to project management certification. So we kind of want to do a deep dive into it. But before we do that, can you both just tell us a little bit about yourselves? Start with you, Nick.
All right. Thanks. So I've been in the manager space for let's see, 20, 20 years now. Got my I have certifications in both PMP as well as in scaled agile as a release train engineer, uh, portfolio level as well. So yeah. But yeah, been in this space for quite a bit.
Mhm.
And
Tasha?
as for me, Erica, I have been in this space for all of about 7+ years.
Okay.
I started as a PMO analyst, really auditing projects and programs, making sure that the data was available and fit for purpose for that point, and a lot of management in the space of the financials from a portfolio perspective. And, through putting my hands up for different opportunities, I quickly rose over the years from a PMO analyst into a program management space. And currently now I have a team of PMO analysts that are kind of doing the same gauntlet that I did. Um, so it's been a good run. I'm certified as a PMP. I also have an advanced Scrum Master certification, and I also am a safe agilist.
Wow, that's amazing. So we talked we're throwing analogies around PMP, PMO analyst, all that good stuff. So Nick, what is a PMP and what are the benefits of having one?
So PMP stands for Project Management Professional, and the great thing about this is this the benefits are that this is really a pre-vetting, showing that you have understanding and aptitude, technical aptitude for the project management space. So whenever anybody comes to you, they realize that that you have already gone through, passed this exam, have this certain level of experience. So it just it just adds as like a qualifier for your expertise.
Hmm. And Tasha, you talked about PMO analyst. So what is a PMO and what does a PMO analyst do?
So the PMO is the Project Management Office, and we are a governing body that oversees the projects, portfolios, and the programs within our space. We usually have structure and framework that, in order for you to go through the project life cycle, you have to follow that process. We also work very well with the other parts of the organization, like the business partners, build, which is the development organization, the service delivery organization that manages solutions after they've been deployed. We kind of sit as the glue, bringing the teams together, making sure that people are following the processes, governing the processes. And yeah, that's a good way for me to put it. Like, we're the glue.
No, that's a great analogy.
And in terms of the other question that you had, Erica, in terms
Hmm.
of, what is a PMO analyst? That's a project management analyst. And
Hmm.
they usually look over the projects and help with the financial arm of a portfolio. So when we talk about projects that are in flight today, they'll look at the allocated budgets that were approved for spending, and they will look at what is actually coming in terms of invoices. Are we on the right side? Right? Are we favorable, or are we overspending? So that
Mm.
governance around financials and data quality and making sure that projects are following the process, that sits with the PMO analysts.
Mm. No, that's great because we've not talked about a PMO analyst before. We've talked about project coordinators and the like, which a PMO analyst seems very close to that. But
Yes.
it's great to hear another terminology for that role. So Nick, what are the key project management methodologies commonly used in the tech industry, and how do they differ from other sectors?
So you typically see like, two major methodologies. One is waterfall and the other one is iterative. So waterfall, you can think of it just like a waterfall. So step one first, step two next, step three. So very much sequential. Iterative means, you start out, have that first draft, and then you continuously improve on it as you integrate additional features and additional requirements from the customer.
Mhm.
So those are the two big ones that you typically see. What you're seeing more so in the technology space, especially around software development, is more of the iterative or agile approach. In other sectors of technology, you'll still find groups using waterfall. So you'll see like hardware deployments,
Mhm.
and server build outs. Those are typically, more able to use waterfall effectively and is very sequential.
Mhm. Mhm. Thanks for that. Tasha, can you share some insights? I'm sure there's a lot of training and preparation for the certifications. Can you share some insights into what's required to get a certification?
Absolutely. So when we talk about a Scrum Master certification requires that you attend the class, and there is a specific number of hours that you have to complete. And post that class, you need to take a examination, which upon completing that examination, which done virtually, you are able to figure out whether or not you passed or fail. And upon completing it, once you pass the certification, you are now officially a Scrum Master. But when we talk about the PMP, which is the Project Management Professional Certification, that one requires a lot of preparation. There's a minimum amount of hours that have to be completed for experience. And whether you have a high school degree versus a college degree is also a requirement. Like coming in, would need to go onto the PMI website, understand where you fall for you to know how to prepare for your next steps. So
Mhm.
I could tell you that I had to go through 4 years of experience in project management
Mhm.
in order to be qualified to take that exam
Mhm.
because I had already had my bachelor's degree. So the minimum that I needed was that 4 years of experience. Had to go through and take um, a boot camp, which gave me the educational hours that were required. In submitting for that certificate to be able to take that certification, I also had to um, provide them with input around the projects that I worked on, what capacity I worked on them in, and they had to go through an audit, like a process where they would review my application, and based on reviewing that, they could either come back and ask me for more information by way of an audit, or they would give you the okay for you to proceed to take the examination. Now, to share with you, it took me about 7 months to study for
Mhm.
the PMP. I had created an entire schedule. I had used a couple of different books because I found that I had some challenges with some of the material and just needed to kind of um, rework how I was going to go through the process of learning because it's a lot of content. And I think it would be a good idea for us to share that um,
Mhm.
in the resources that we will be sharing with you so that the team, all the people that are watching can use that as a grounding item in getting through that examination. There's also
Absolutely.
Sorry to cut you, Erica.
That's
There's
okay.
also the Certified Associate Project Manager certification offered by PMI that doesn't require as much rigor as the Project Management Professional certification, and it requires around 2 years
Mhm.
of experience. So if someone's looking to break into that space and they don't have that 4 years of experience, the CAPAM is a great place to start.
Thank you, Tasha. This is all very comprehensive information. So thank you. And you also alluded to our resource guide, which we will definitely have available to those who are interested in it. And it's going to be a resource to provide you with all types of information, including what we're talking about today. So I'm going to close out with Nick. So, Nick, what piece of advice would you give to someone who would be interested in getting a certification? And there's a two-part to that. And we were talking about PMI. Can we talk a little bit about that organization as well?
Sure. So the first thing I would say is that don't let the certifications and the requirements scare you off from pursuing project management. You can like for hmm, at least a decade, I was not certified in any of the methodologies. It I grew into a project manager just based on the work. You
Hmm.
get assigned, you start organizing things, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, I'm doing project management.
Hmm.
And then once you're doing it, then you start to ask, like, what tool sets can I use to really make this easier. And the certifications help introduce you to structures, to project management. It makes it easier. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can take the knowledge that's been there. So that is the piece of advice. So don't let it stop you. Continue, work towards it. Look at the various requirements for various certifications because they all are different.
Hmm.
PMP and PMI certifications are very rigorous. There are others that have a lower bar for entry. So, take all that into consideration as well. One other thing I would say to take into consideration is look into the area of the tech industry that you're looking to enter into to see what is the typical methodology that they're using and use that to guide your journey. As for to your second point, what is about the PMI organization? So the PMI organization which stands for Project Management Institute, is the overarching organization that governs and manages and designs the coursework and testing for those project management certifications. So they are the ones that enforce the rigor. They are the ones that really provide help provide the gravitas of the certification through their management. One other thing to also consider is that the certification is always evolving, as is the industry. So what you learn today may not be necessarily be what you need tomorrow. The PMP used to focus very heavily on waterfall, but they have started to begin to integrate iterative approaches into that as well. So if you were going into or pursuing PMI and PMP, then you're going to have to understand iterative approaches as well. So, like all things in technology, it's going to be a continuous learning journey. But once you've achieved your certification, you could really look back on it as a measure of achievement and can really help you, especially even if you may not necessarily have a traditional background. This can really be leveraged to give you that professional level, that professional playing field.
Oh,
So
thank
hopefully,
you.
hopefully that answered your question,
You
Erica.
sure did. Absolutely.
Okay.
You both did. And thank you so much for sharing your your journeys as well as the skill set that is required for this certification. Just by our conversation, it seems that you have both definitely benefited from having those certifications and allowing you to, work on a variety of projects and leveraging what you've learned. So I thank you. And Nick and Tasha really enjoyed our conversation today. And until the next time, everyone, take care.
Thanks, Erica.
Thanks, Erica.